There we go.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Andrea Leonard. I'm president and founder of the Cancer Exercise Training Institute, and I'm Batman, and my Robin is Greg Hendrickson here, or vice versa. Greg is the marketing guru, and Greg, you can elaborate a little bit more on your talents, as I never do you enough justice.
Oh, plenty. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to be with you today and talk about the Cancer Exercise Specialist programs. I've been working with CETI for a number of years now, and I'm just amazed by the work that Andrea has put into this course and this program over the past 20 years. And my job is to really help you once you get this certification take it and turn it into the business that you'd like to have, or in the case of if you've got a nonprofit and you want to reach a lot of people, help you do that as well. And it's really about taking this and working with as many people as you can. I'm here to help you do that.
Thanks, Greg. The thing that's I've been a personal trainer for 30 plus years, and one thing in the industry is that you spend all this money, you get a piece of paper, and then you put the piece of paper on the wall, and you open your doors and wait for people to come in, and it doesn't work that way, especially with all of the competition that we as fitness professionals and healthcare professionals have. Because even if you're a hospital, if you have a physical therapy practice, you're still competing with, all of the other entities that are in your geographic area. And so Greg is really amazing at helping you brand and figure out what's going to make you stand out, in this case, as the number one cancer exercise expert. Now we'll see if I can change the page. Here we go. All right. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. Don't want to bore you with reading script here, but I wanted to side by side have the United States and worldwide. We are in 56 countries and currently have over 20,000 cancer exercise specialists that make up the whole continuum of exercise, rehab, and medicine. So we've got doctors, nurses, PTs, OTs, certified lymphatic therapists, personal trainers, yoga, Pilates, you name it. And Greg can also help fit you into the program that is perfect for you. But these numbers are staggering. And although people are living longer, cancer diagnoses are not going down, as you see here. I mean, just looking in 5 years, 53.5 million people living worldwide with cancer. So we do actually talk about preventing cancer because I look at it as a cancer spectrum. There's prevention, there's prehab, there's during treatment, there's immediate recovery, and then long-term survivorship. And we, as a cancer exercise specialist, it doesn't matter if you're a PT or a yoga instructor, whatever, you have your own modality that you use, but the umbrella of cancer exercise specialist, we can help people through all different stages. And you can market as such as well. And wouldn't it be amazing, Greg? You and I have both been touched personally by cancer to be able to teach our family and our friends and our colleagues ways that they can actually, by making simple changes in their diet or their mental health, their sleep, that they can actually prevent cancer. That I think is one of the most profound things that is overlooked. And if only I knew then what I know now. I'm also a 42-year cancer survivor. So my little button that usually works to change the page does not work. We'll go through these just like I just kind of stumbled through them, starting with cancer prevention. So 30 to 40% reduction in cancer risk for physically active individuals versus their sedentary peers. Think about the people you work with. If you work in an office and the people who are sitting there snacking at their desk all day long, or what they eat, or those who go out and walk on their exercise break, walk on their lunch break, it becomes an exercise break. Statistically, they are reducing their risk of cancer. And so you can even get in there. Greg, I don't know if you've done much as far as corporate coaching, but can you see a way that you could even get a cancer exercise specialist tied in with, let's say, Microsoft or Intel or Alaska Airlines or any other organization and go in and present this to their employees?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a woman right now who works for the CDC. She's working with a company that actually provides these wellness types of services to some of the Fortune 500 companies across the United States. So she's working on a program with the employees of the CDC to help them on the fitness side, and they want to bring the cancer exercise component in because they have so many employees, and obviously many are impacted by cancer. So,
Yeah.
what's amazing about this is, although the occurrence of cancer because of better diagnosis and just the fact that you can catch things earlier, the volume is unfortunately increasing also with population. But the great news that goes along with that is that the treatments and the surgeries and everything are so much better. And if you add exercise into this, you can help people across the board. So it's a great opportunity to bring something that people can really control on their own and make a real impact in their own lives and in their own well-being going forward. So, I know that's one of the reasons that Andrea has really pushed this over time and has become just an amazing leader in this space around the world.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's actually CETI has been around for 22 years, but I started the oncology exercise in 1995. So it's been a long time coming and started at a time where it wasn't recognized at all. In fact, the internet had just begun and there was very little research. So of course now, just for this next example, cancer types for which regular exercise reduces risk, and there's study after study after study, breast cancer and colon, and those are two of the highest incidences types of cancer. We're seeing colon cancer now. You just saw James Vanderbeek passed from Dawson's Creek, young guy, I think he was in his 40s. Never would have thought he had colon cancer and found out he had stage 4 colon cancer. And of course, it's brought to light many times with famous people, but of course, regular everyday people are dealing with this all the time. 25% lower risk for colon cancer specifically in the most active adults versus least active. And of course, as you're exercising, you're moving everything through your digestive system so that the potential carcinogens don't stay in contact with the mucosal lining of the stomach and basically just fester and potentially change the cell makeup. Also, 20% lower breast cancer risk in women who are highly physically active. And my mom's had breast cancer 3 times. She currently has stage 4. So I've been having mammograms since I was 28 years old. And the one thing that I have several things going for me. Hopefully, I try and eat well too. But the one thing I have going for me is I'm an avid exerciser, and I have been for decades. Prehabilitation is interesting because it's kind of a catchphrase, but there's a very small window. So I'm not going to say this is your big opportunity here, but when you get in with a medical practice, or if you in fact are the medical practice, you see that patient, and then they go right down the hall to the cancer exercise specialist, and they start their prehab. So, for example, if somebody is a breast cancer patient and they are going to go have an abdominal tram surgery and they're going to have the rectus abdominis compromised and so on and so forth. The cancer exercise specialist can start them, whether it's 3 or 4 weeks or 2 months, they can start them doing specific exercises that are going to help them regain function and, in this case, core strength. Better than had they not been doing anything. Obviously, it would be great if they'd been exercising for decades, but that's not always the case. So I'm not gonna read through all of these statistics. You guys can pause and stop and read through them, but over and over, we see if you get on even Google Scholar and you type in exercise and cancer, you're going to find hundreds, if not thousands, of studies that back this up. So even 2 to 4 weeks of preoperative exercise can significantly reduce complication rates. And that was just cited in 2024. One thing that you will notice as you look at statistics, I am currently in the process of updating our cancer exercise specialist handbook. I do this every 2 years to reflect the most current research and education. Um, in doing so, everything is 2022. That is the most recent statistically worldwide. I think American Cancer Society has some more recent local numbers, but worldwide we're still at 2022. So they're usually lagging a few years behind. During treatment, it has been shown that exercise reduces fatigue and the side effects of cancer treatment, fatigue being the number one. So just about every single cancer patient is going to be affected by fatigue and not the, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I just fed the kids, bathed the kids, fed the dog, this, that, the other, worked 10 hours. I'm exhausted. No, this is, you literally can't get off of the couch to go brush your teeth, to go to bed. And exercise, we know that it helps to improve this. So why is every single medical professional not recommending exercise? Or perhaps they are, and there's, somewhere there's just a break and the patient doesn't follow through. Whatever the case is, we need to engage more medical professionals and therefore engage more of the patient population. Chemo brain, real thing, short-term memory loss. We can incorporate brain training also for Alzheimer's, for dementia, for menopause, incorporating things, even counting or talking in another language or patterns like Zumba are great for memory and that repetition. Nausea. Obviously, we see movies, people are, vomiting and whatnot. With chemotherapy, exercise can reduce it. Also, neuropathy, pins and needles, pain in the hands and fingers, the feet and toes, and sleep. So a lot of people, whether it be stress, steroids, people are on steroids, they're bouncing off the walls. Exercise can help improve all of those things and more. It can also help people to complete treatment where somebody might stop because it was just so toxic to their body. They were having such horrible side effects. They're like, I can't do this anymore. So people can not only get through it, but sometimes they can even take larger doses or higher level treatments, which of course, we're having a high success rate with fighting the disease itself. Supporting immune function, we get into the gut microbiome and how our insides are affecting our immune system. Reducing cardiotoxicity, you may hear the term red devil. And anthracyclines are they call it the red devil because that's what it looks like in the chemo bag. It's red, but it creates potential problems with the heart, so they're being checked regularly. But without reading each and every one of these, I want to just give you an example. So you have a client that comes in and they say they're on chemotherapy. I want to know what kind of chemotherapy they are on because I can look at the specific side effects. I want to know if they're currently undergoing treatment. I want to know what their treatment regimen is because I'm planning the workout accordingly based on when they have the most energy, based on what their blood cell counts are. We have to look at the white blood cell count. Are they immunocompromised? The platelet count, are they at risk for bleeding and bruising? So we combine all of these like a mathematical equation, A plus B plus C plus D, and only when you have all of that information can you then safely and effectively put together a cancer recovery program. And we recently have gotten the trademark OncoVie, which is life and cancer. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring life back to people and make them feel vibrant. So when you see the OncoVie Cancer Exercise Specialist, that is what is going to separate you from every other cancer exercise professional because there are a lot of mediocre programs out there. And whether you say you get what you pay for or quality versus quantity, whatever, little wording you want to use. I'm just here to tell you, as a fitness professional, there is no shortcut. You cannot go do a 4-hour course and consider yourself an expert on cancer exercise. So, this course is not easy. This is going to be like a semester of college. But I assure you that when you work with your clients or your patients, you are going to know what you're doing and you are going to feel confident doing it because you're going to dot your I's and you're going to cross your T's. Any input on that, Greg?
No, I think that's amazing. One of the stats I think that brings this opportunity to life for me is the fact that as people are going through their cancer journey, it's basically 75 to 80% of the people who get into that process are doing little or no exercise at all. So the amazing thing is just by helping them to do a little bit and then a little bit more, just by getting an incremental gain for them, you're going to help them along all these areas that Andrea just talked about. Improving quality of life, reducing recurrence, all of it. It all comes with just adding a little bit to the fact that they're not doing much of anything at all, and it's going to improve the entire process for them.
Well, I'm getting a grin because I'm thinking of two women that I've been working with. One is an 85-year-old woman. Her daughter is a cancer exercise specialist through us. And after just one training session, she wrote me and said, not only am I not hurting, because, she was scared she doesn't work out. She says, but I have more energy than I've had in a long time. And, physiologically, I can't say that there was some miracle that happened that day, but I think psychologically and just feeling that she was proactive. You used the word control earlier. Cancer patients feel that they don't have control. They don't have control over their body. They don't have control necessarily over their treatment choices. So we are able to give them that control. It actually gives me the goosebumps because when you hear that from your client and you know whether it's in their head or in the body, the head controls the body. It all works together. So, the mind body continuum. And then I have one other lady who also, she's got stage 4 lung cancer. She, smoked and drank and this and that. And she says, Andrea, I hate exercise. That was our beginning. And I posted a funny little video a while ago. She's like, I stepped on the scale and I didn't lose an XXX pound. She's like, but I put on my jeans and I slid right into them. And, she was so stoked. So these are, just little examples. But the real example is the person who can't walk, the person who can't get in and out of a chair, up and down, or take themselves to the bathroom. And you're able to teach them how to use their muscles to create, that muscle balance to where they can do functional activities, the things they have to do every single day. So this course is not for somebody who's, just looking to get CEUs and wants to blaze through it and not really pay attention. It's not for somebody who's not willing to put the work in. This is hardcore serious. We are on the cusp and we are working collaboratively with the medical professionals. So you do have to, you will have access to the new material every 2 years, and you must retest. It's a small test, but you must retest every 2 years. That's how we maintain the integrity and the quality and put our stamp of approval on anyone who is OncoVie Cancer Exercise Specialist. And I know I have personal training certifications and all, I have hands full of them. Never do I have to take a test again. Even your college degree, you're not going back and taking a test again. But in the medical profession, they have to get constant continuing education. And we do have that in the fitness profession, but it's not applicable to cancer. So if you go do a BOSU course or a kettlebell course, how is that going to help you to get updated on cancer exercise? So immediate recovery is that first year. So how you're going to train people that first year, it's also not a blanket statement because where were they when they started? Were they sedentary? Were they bedridden? Were they already an athlete or active? How quickly have they recovered? And all of these things have to be kind of ticked off. And then we're working to restore and protect and rebuild that capacity. And just like we kind of said, reclaim life, take control back. And it's so empowering. It really is. And it's great to all the people who help people lose weight and get ready for weddings and swimsuit season. It's all great and commendable, but to really give somebody their life back when they have little to no hope, that's huge. Long-term survival and quality of life extension. If you take twins and they both have the same type of cancer, they eat the same thing, one exercises and the other doesn't, the one that exercises statistically is going to live longer. So just for example, a 28% lower all-cause mortality in breast cancer survivors. And that is with high physical activity. So we're not talking about just, a lazy walk. I mean, you have to perform. 35% reduction in colorectal cancer recurrence. This is based on a supervised 3-year exercise program, a randomized controlled trial. 5-year survival rate achieved for all cancers combined. exercise accelerates, that's a good new word, the process. So just backing it up. And these aren't things I'm making up. They are all cited here and you can look them up yourself. So Greg, I'm gonna let you jump in here.
Yeah, so I think, the next step is if you're thinking about this as something that you want to do and you want to undertake the cancer exercise specialist training, um, over time, we've understood that, it's not only the certification, it's how do you take the certification and use it within your community? How do you build the business elements of it? How do you do the marketing? How do you connect with the people to make it happen in your community? And so we built those services along with the specific exercise curriculum over the course of the past few years. And we've now worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of cancer exercise specialists on taking this certification into their community and making sure that they're creating the business structures and doing the marketing and connecting with people and getting the clients and helping those clients in their communities. And so that's what our programs are all about. So you have the option to look at, if you already have an established business and really your objective is to get the cancer exercise specialist certification, we have an option for that. If you'd like some of that guided support to help you through the program and add some of the business and the marketing guidance as you figure out, okay, how do you want to use this specifically within your community? We have a program called the Zoom Guided Program. That's what's listed here. So that includes the cancer exercise specialist curriculum. There are training sessions, Zoom, combination of Zoom and recorded sessions that Andrea and I do to help you sort of fast track through all of the content over 4 to 6 weeks. I'll have a few sessions to help you think about the business side of it so you can have that structure thought through and ready for when you're done. And then I also provide some one-on-one business planning with you. So, we can sit down and look at, okay, what do you specifically want to do in your community? Do you want to do in-person services? Do you want to do virtual? Do you want to do both? Do you have a facility that you can work out of? Do you want to do it out of your house? All of those elements play into, okay, how do you actually run this as a business? One of the ways that you can also leverage your time is to create your own cancer exercise course that you can then offer to people within the community. So we show you how to do that. We have other materials that can help you with providing yoga and Pilates based training. We've got support from both Andrea and myself and our team at any time that you need it, actually. I mean, this is 24/7. If you have any questions about what's going on with the content or the certification or getting through the course, Andrea and I are always available. And then we have other folks in the Facebook community and that will definitely help you out as you go through the process.
Can I just say a
Sure.
little leap about that? I want to take my glasses off, but quite frankly, I can't see anything when I take them off. And I
We're in the same
apologize for
boat.
the thing. It
Yeah.
used to be you pressed an arrow to change the screen, but apparently now anything you touch changes the screen. The Facebook group is really amazing. I mean, there's about 2,000 people in there, so obviously 20,000 people aren't in there who have gone through the course, but the people who are in there are really involved. They're very proactive, they're very engaging, and you can literally, let's say it's 4 in the morning here in Colorado, it's 3 in the morning for Greg in California, and you're in Israel or China or wherever, and you need to speak to somebody. I guarantee you, you put something in the Facebook group, somebody's going to be awake, and they'll, hey, I'm working with a client in a couple hours. She had a mastectomy and this and that. It's our first session. What do I do? I shouldn't say I guarantee you, but there's a really good chance that somebody will respond right away. And if not, very, very, very soon. Also, that's where I communicate with everybody in an ongoing fashion. If we have a free webinar or I have a case study that I want to share with you, which I post regularly. There's little tabs in the Facebook group where I've got all kinds of documents and strategies and even outlines for custom exercise programming. So that's I think that's a great asset that we have to offer. And the Be Your Own Author books. So we have three different books that are already written. I wrote them, but you become the co-author. So we're just finishing up one right now with one of our trainers, and she chose the one that's all cancer. You could do breast cancer, cancer, or lymphedema, and she replaces the photos. She gets to do her forward. She's a co-author. Um, Puts her own special in, and then you have a certain territory that you have exclusive rights for those. So just adding the cherry on the cake to what Greg said.
Yeah, and so this all culminates in there's a final exam. It's a 125 question final exam. So this is all intended to prepare you for that exam. And upon passing that exam with 80% or better, you receive the OncoVie Cancer Exercise Specialist certification. And as Andrea talked about earlier, that's good for 2 years, and then the requirement is that as we update the material on an ongoing basis 2 years out, then you would retake the a shorter exam. It's a 50 question exam, but with all of the new material that's been developed with the advances in cancer surgeries and treatments and all of the intelligence that Andrea is going to bring to the next version of the course. So that's the process of getting the certification and staying with it. And so this package here is part of our Zoom guided sessions that we do on a monthly basis. And so this is one of the program options that you have available to you.
Okay, I'll change the pen. I'm pressing the button.
All right. So this, the sessions that we put together, if you look through the calendar, you're getting about 2 sessions per week with Andrea, where she's going over, okay, how do you start to study this wealth of information and all of the self-study material? So there's 4 modules. Right now, there's about 550 pages of information. With the new edition that's coming out soon, that's probably going to be a couple hundred more pages. So, this schedule here, it's not mandatory that you follow a 4 week schedule, but this is intended to help you if you want to fast track it a little bit to work through and get an idea of where everything is in the course over the course of 4 weeks. And so what's accompanying that is I do sessions once a week to help you also start to think about the business foundations of your cancer exercise practice. So first, who are you going to focus on from a customer perspective? Once you have that decided, how do you actually start to put together your services? How do you price what you're going to do, and how do you offer that to the marketplace? Or, the other thing is, how do you look at the potential employers that there are in your community and make sure that you're contacting them? So there's a number of different ways that you can use a certification to work with clients going forward, whether that's getting a job or creating an entity that you use on your own to work within the community. And that's what we help you work through and make sure that you're finding those opportunities in your community to take things and work with people going forward.
And one other thing, we have a lot of people, a lot who have gone through cancer themselves, are going through cancer treatment, have a family member, loved one, and they find that this is cathartic for them, and they're also educating themselves on how to recover, and they want to give back and start working with others who are going through a similar situation. I have two things to say about that. You notice I said similar because there are no two cancer patients that are going to have the exact experience, and there's so many different factors. So that's why there can't be just this cookie cutter workout. And if anybody tells you that, oh, here's what you do for breast cancer, here's what you do, run, because it's not that easy. I wish it was. Every single person is going to respond differently. They're going to have different treatments. They're going to have different responses, and they're going to start off different physically to begin with. But what I was getting at is, for those of you who have been in the cancer spectrum, family, friends, yourself, you already have connections. You already have your kind of start to think about that 6 degrees of separation, and your oncologist, your radiation oncologist, your infusion nurse, your physical therapist, so on and so forth. And they're a captive audience. You've probably built a relationship, so they already know, like, and trust you. And you go in there with your 600 page, manual and show them what you have studied. the case closed. I mean, you've got a perfect segue. Once again, there's no guarantees, but we have success stories from people all over the world who have done just that. So do you want to wrap it up, Greg? I don't know.
Sure.
This is our
Yeah.
last
So
night.
I think as you're thinking about this, and hopefully your objective is to become the local expert in your community with providing oncology exercise services. I mean, it's needed in every community,
Mhm.
hands down. If you look at the numbers in the United States, and there may be some of you who are listening to this from around the world, but in the United States, there's going to be 2 million more cancer diagnoses in the year 2026. I forget what the number is worldwide. I think it's about 20 million worldwide,
Yeah,
19
I
million.
could go back. I just remember seeing 53 million in the next five years survivors, and that's the thing. We can create more survivors. We can help people, so that we lower the rate of cancer as well. But even if we don't have that luxury, we can help people to live longer through our training.
Right. So there's what that basically means is that every community, you've got a clinic close to you, you've got some cancer treatment centers near you, you have people who are going through the journey near you, and you have the opportunity to help and work with all of them. And right now, as it stands in the industry, there's a great opportunity. Probably 75% of the people who go through a cancer treatment journey are not being offered the option to use exercise as part of a holistic sort of recovery path. And so
Right.
there's an opportunity everywhere to make that happen and to build that within your community as well. So as you think about this, we have a couple options for right now. You can either start with the self-study program, which is a great way. If you've sort of got the business side of things covered for yourself, or you have an existing fitness business or therapy practice, or you've got a medical practice already and you want to add this cancer exercise specialty into it, this is the way to go. So the home study program, we have that available from 449 to 499. And then for the month of March, we also have our Zoom guided program available for 549. What's also available, and I want to make sure everybody knows this, we are now in the 14th edition of the Cancer Exercise Training Program. The 15th edition will be coming out shortly. So, and everyone who signs up in March is going to get early access to the 15th edition when it comes out at the current prices that we were just talking about. The prices will go up as soon as we release it, and the prices will go up in April. So now is a great time if you want to get access to all of that ongoing knowledge going forward to jump in and get started. And we're both here to answer any questions that you may have as you start to think about this and come to a decision. So just get in touch at any time.
And Greg, we also, I'm sure there would be people who happen to watch this who are also in our program already, and they can upgrade to the 15th edition as well. They could just get in touch with you on that. And
Yeah.
obviously people who don't have the current materials won't know the difference. But I mean, I've spent hours and hours and weeks and months working on this. And what I've put together for you is I've broken down each cancer surgery, each cancer treatment, and come up with a protocol. So even though I'd like you to be able to put it all together yourself, and that's what I'm teaching you, I'm also giving you, let's just call it a cheat sheet of this is the protocol for the first 3 months. This is the protocol for the next 3 months. This is the protocol, for the overall year. So, I mean, I'm really, really excited and I'm really proud of it. It's taken a lot of brown hairs out of my head. But I think it's going to be remarkable, and I hope everybody will be really pleased with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is an amazing program, and thanks for an amazing job in getting this out to the market and impacting people.
Well, thank you. And it's I'm pretty sure 9 years since we started working together, and Greg has taken this to the next level. So thank you, Greg, for everything. And you guys can write Andrea at thecancerspecialist.com. Both Greg and I access that account. So if you have a specific question to Greg, you can reach out directly to him too. And this pricing is just good for the rest of this month.
Correct. Yep, through the end of March.
All right. Well, everybody have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and we hope to see you in our path forward.
Absolutely. Hope to
Take
talk to
care.
you soon.
All right. Take care.
Take care.